Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Again, I will talk about this idiotic decision to boycott sporting events by any country. Why? Because you might, encounter an athlete from a country that you don't like, you are at war with or something like that. It's not about that. When you go and you compete to see how strong you are against the best in the world. That's the whole purpose. You don't care if that's Russian, French, Israeli or Iranian. I made 2 videos, I think, on this issue already, and I will make as many as possible because I think this is an idiotic decision coming from the Ukrainian leadership. And that is to try to ban the Russian athletes and Belarusian athletes from competing in Olympics, in world tournaments of different, in judo, in this case, judo. So what they try to do, the Ukrainians try to, put pressure on the Judo Federation, international, blah, 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 to exclude the Russian judoka from participating in the world tournaments, championships, because some of them might be military personnel. I explained in the previous video, which I did, I think, today, how is that in Russia and how it used to be when you are part of the Dynamo club or to a military club. You have ranks, but you're not participating in a war or anything like that. I explained it in my video, you can check it out. I did it today about judo. Now, the Ukrainians were not able to force the World Judo Federation or whatever it's called to ban these athletes. Therefore, the leadership of Ukraine decided that they will keep their fighters home. They will boycott. That means that these leaders of Ukraine, they will rob these athletes' future by not allowing them to compete and maybe win. All that struggle, all the training, the sacrifice will be zero because of the leaders. That's how I take it, and that's how I will take it. Remember when we used to watch certain stupid actions like, let's say an Iranian wrestler did not want to fight a Israeli wrestler because we don't like one another, or something like that, like he knew the guy in the world tournaments or in Olympics. That was stupid as hell. Still is. And vice versa. Other people, I don't want to shake hands with you because you belong to that after a, judo shiai. Or no, we can't have that. Here now, again, this with many tyrannical inclinations, the government in Kiev destroys these guys' lives. You can say, well, the Russians did it. Well, the Russians do not prevent you from participating in the world tournament. It's your own government. The same with the sanctions. It's not that, we have a shittier life now because the Russians invaded Ukraine. No. You could have stayed out of it. You impose sanctions. You impose sanctions on you and on Russia. So it's your fault. The government, not the Russians. The Russians, okay, can you change that? Not. So if you can't control that, don't cry about it. What you can control, that's what you can cry about it. Here, these guys are robbing these athletes of the opportunity to become whatever they want to become. And I have an example. I have an article and I have an example. He's an Ukrainian, actually. He's a Ukrainian weightlifter from the 80s, early 80s, 1980s. And he was the best. But because Soviet Union boycotted, I think, the 1994 Olympics I think it was in the United States of America, Soviet Union and most of the Eastern Bloc, except Romania, was one of them. They went over there and won a lot of medals because the Russians, the Soviets were out. Then this guy did not go over there. And he lost. He doesn't have a gold medal in Olympics. And the guy who won it, I think, was an Australian that was about, like 40 kilograms less than he would have been. So he would have won the Olympic medal. But because of politics, he said, no, you can't go. So he was deprived of that, like these guys are deprived of judokas right now. So let me show you this little article. I'm so irritated with these idiots. The new voice of Ukraine. Ukrainian team to boycott Judo World Championships due to Russian soldiers' participation. I already mentioned if you are part of Dynamo club, which Anatoly Pisarenko is the power lifter, weightlifter that I'm going to feature here later. That's why. They will not participate. I'm going to grab you by the pussy, or what are they going to do? The Russian soldiers on the tatami. Jesus Christ. Don't blame these guys. Blame your guys. They are the ones who don't let you go, not the Russians. Okay, I'm not going to go under this. We already know all this thing here because I covered it earlier today. Now, what I'm talking about this guy right here. This guy is Anatoly Pisarenko. He was Ukrainian. Okay? He was born in January 10th, 1958, and he died. He was an Olympic weightlifter, a former Olympic for the USSR. He was born in Kiev, where he trained in Dynamo. Dynamo. You see here any Olympic medals here? You see him? Nothing. Why is that? Because they didn't participate there. He was in the Olympic medal record, nothing. He represented, but they did not participate then. That was the gold, 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 gold. Remember, 84. Right here, gold, gold. Right here, 84. Gold, gold. 84, gold, gold. So he would have them up. Let's put it this way. Right here again. This is this guy, whatever. In the venue. Look what they did in 1984. That was the time. Anyway, so this guy was for Dynamo. What's Dynamo? Let's go and see Dynamo. Because Dynamo, he was actually a military guy. He was actually a secret service, an agent. Dynamo, also Dynamo, was a sports and fitness society created in 1923 in the Soviet Union. The society was an association of multi-sport clubs whose members were drawn from the NKVD after World War II, and MVD and the KGB. You got that? They all had ranks. They were just participating over there, and the ranks were because they were members of that club, Dynamo. Alright? That's how it was and still is, at least in Romania. So who's this guy? This is the guy. Now, why is this so famous? Is because I watched a little video maybe 2 nights ago, and this is a coincidence. 2 nights ago, I watched a video about this guy, and the video is this. Right here. Pisarenko, weightlifting most iconic athlete. And in here they tell you how he had the best for his weight. I think it was 104 or 5 kilograms. He weighed at 264 kilograms or something like this. So the proportion between 260 and his 104 was the biggest. So that means he was the strongest. Not you see a fat fuck here with 3,000 pounds lifting, I don't know, 3,000 pounds. You know, the proportion is 1-on-1. Okay? This guy is double. So he was 104 and he lifted double his weight. That's why he's considered the strongest according to this video. Now, you can go and watch it if you want. My problem is with these idiots who are banning the athletes from becoming great. That's what they work for. They don't care I'm Putin or Zelensky or whatever. And the problem is in that video there are statements coming from Pisarenko, and he said that he regrets that he did not participate in 1984 when he would have had the Olympic medal. As I said, the one who won because he was not present was a guy from Australia, according to the video, that I think he lifted 215 or something like this, and these guys was lifting 260. All right, something like that. I checked, and I don't think it was 215. I think it was 250 or something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, he would have won, all things considered. And you never know what happened. You go over there and you pull a muscle, and you're done. But I'm just saying, he regretted not participating. His biggest regret could be, he said his biggest regret was that he got into powerlifting, but that's a different story. Why he was by the Soviets and so on. So remember, I don't have a problem with those guys, that they go and participate. Let them participate. You screw their future. They are young men and women. They train hard. I know how it is. You train hard. You train hard to go over there and compete to see how good you are. Because when you come back home, all your life you will remember that. I participated in the World Tournament, in the Olympics, European Championships, whatever you might be. I was the 7th, I was the 4th, I was the 27th. But you were over there. And you were the 27th in the world. everybody who came over there was the best of their countries. Well, if you don't allow the Russians and the Belarusians to participate, you're going to be maybe the Olympic champion or the world champion. But in your back of the head, if you are honest enough, you're going to say, well, I am, but those guys did not participate. And believe me, they know one another. How? When I used to participate in competitions, I knew who's who, what's what. You knew that guy is a danger. You know that guy was not a danger. You know that guy was strong as fuck. You know that guy, you knew them. So if you would hear, oh, that's not coming, would you celebrate? You're a weasel if you celebrate, because you deprived yourself of testing yourself against the best. So yeah, I'm the world champion. I won the Olympics. But the guys that I know that maybe they posed a problem for me, they did not participate. How am I going to live all my life? And who am I going to blame? Putin? Putin did not prevent me from going to world tournaments. Zelensky did. Remember, don't blame things that you cannot control or you can't change. Focus on things that you can change. And here, the only how should I put it, bottom line, they are prevented from participating by their own idiots. All right? And you guys, screw these kids, these athletes who sacrifice so much, you screw their lives. Because world tournaments, I don't know in judo if they're every 2 years or every year, I don't know. But anyway, you don't get any younger. You train a year for what? And someone else is gonna get it? Anyway, man, it's just I don't care if those are Russians, these are Ukrainians, those are Romanians, or those are Bangladeshi. I don't care. Let them go over there and see who's the best. That's all they care. And then obviously they want to make their country proud, their family, themselves, their girlfriends, and they will never forget until they die. They will never look at old people that have a medal from whatever little. You can maybe look in your life. Maybe, I know, when you were in high school, you won a little tournament in local shit, and you had a little medal over there. You still have that. You still have. Imagine someone would have deprived you from doing that, and you would have won. Is the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. So I make an appeal on these idiots to allow those guys to achieve greatness, to test their abilities against the best. Get the fuck out of sports. All of you. All the politicians. All of you. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.